welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Surviving Adulthood. My name is Rose. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about me becoming a licensed driver and the whole process of me getting my first car. Woo! So exciting. At the end of this video, well, first, I hope that you enjoy the video, and at the end of it, if you like it, make sure to like the video. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to share it, and if you want to see more from me, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. April, May, I decided that I would go for my license. I knew, up until that point, I had my permit, I had been driving and things like that, and I wasn't a bad driver. There were many things that I was scared of as far as the road test, but I just wouldn't go because I did not want to fail. But finally, I decided, you know what, I can't do these 3-hour trips to work, these waiting for the bus, 20 minutes, getting on the bus, mad ratchet people on the bus. I had enough. It was no more. I was done. So finally, I went to driving school. I did my 5-hour class. I took some lessons with the driving school. I took some more lessons with my uncle who used to own a driving school, who's been teaching people how to drive for a very, very long time. So I did some lessons with him. I went to the road test. That day I was so scared. Oh my god. Like, I was so scared. I didn't tell anybody I was going for my road test because if I failed, nobody needed to know. Okay. But thank God, I did not fail. I passed my first try. The test literally lasted 5 minutes. Like, it's so funny to me how I went through all these years being scared of something that literally went by in 5 minutes. But anyways, I got the license. But even before I went for my road test, I had already started thinking, I'm gonna get a car. How is this gonna work? How much money, do I have to spend on a car monthly? What kind of car should I get? What are the things that are gonna be important to me when getting a car? And this kind of thinking is with anything that you do in life, whether or not you're going for an apartment, whether you're buying something, whatever big purchases, it's always important to think ahead. And sorry, there's a fly in the room, but to think ahead, not just of doing your research of what's the best thing to get or how much, but think about what it is that you need out of that thing that you're making a purchase on. So I was thinking about the car. What was important to me in getting a car? Okay, obviously, being able to afford the car. So I didn't need a super expensive, nice looking car when, in a couple of months I would have to give it back because I couldn't afford it. I really wanted a car that had rear view backup camera, like more up to date, the lane assistance, things like that. So it was important for me to get a newer car, and I already for a long time knew that I wanted to lease a car because I like the idea that every a couple of years you get a new car, and plus when you're leasing, because you have a newer car, it's more dependable. You know that you can be more assured that the car is not going to randomly stop along the road because 3 years before you owned it, the previous owner got into a car accident and this, that, and the third. Like, I did not want to have to deal with any of those things. So I already decided it was going to be a lease, but now it was about what type of car should I get. We are Haitian, I'm Haitian, I'm from a Haitian household, and there is a long-running joke about Haitians and their love for Toyotas. So of course, when I asked my uncle what kind of car I should get, he said to get a Toyota. And for me, the make of the car really did not matter. So I was like, okay, Toyota, you said Toyota is good, they're reliable, great, fine. I look online to Toyota's website. Perfect timing. They're having a sale on a Toyota Corolla 2017 LE lease, where it was $139 a month, and you put down, I think, about $2,500 that day that you're coming to get the car or whatever. So I said, okay, that's good. I call them, I go online, I put in the information to go to the actual business or company or whatever the case may be to see the car. So when I put in my information, they immediately call me after. They set up an appointment with me to come on Memorial Day. Now, I picked that day because it just so happened that day I would be off from work. So I wanted to take, advantage of that day and go as opposed to calling out to just pick up a car. So I went, they had some extra sales because it was Memorial Day. walking in really confident because I knew I did my research. I knew what car I was interested in. I knew how much I was willing to pay. I knew how much my insurance would be because I had also looked up what was the best insurance based on my age, what was the cheapest, what was the best as far as cost effective and also being covered, because you know I didn't want to buy something where it was cheap, but if something were to happen I would have to shell out more money anyway. So I had to find the perfect balance of something that was cost effective, something that wasn't too expensive, and then something that was also offering a lot of coverage, and that turned out to be Geico. So I also had a quote from Geico. So the day I came in, the guy, you know, he's asking me what am I interested in, if I wanted to look around, and I'm like, no, I don't really need to look around. I know exactly what what car I want. So we go downstairs to the lot. He makes a copy of my license, which came 2 days before I got there. Like before that, I was walking around with a paper license. So the license came in perfect timing. I didn't even realize I was gonna need it, but you know, he made a copy of it. We went, we did a test drive. Everything is going great. We come back, he sits with me, and he just lays out everything, how much I'm gonna have to pay, how much he didn't tell me how much it's gonna be monthly, but just how much I had to pay that day. So we did that. I also mentioned to him that I graduated college a year before, and they have a promotion where if you're a college student who graduated 2 years prior, you get $750 back. So of course I wanted that savings, so I got that. And then because it was Memorial Day, there was some extra savings because they were trying to close out. Like, I'm not sure if that's true, if that's just something they tell people just to try to get them in, but it worked with me because I came in. So we did that. Then afterwards, he had to put in for my license plate and for my car to get registered. I'm not sure if they do this at every place where you can get a car, but thankfully that place, they had that where you can get the car and everything and drive off the lot that same day, because you were able to get your car registered and get your license plate that same day. So while that was working, I went to sit with someone else. This person was a financial services person, and they basically spoke to me about some extra added on stuff. So like, if you remembered, originally it was supposed to be $139 a month, and that was perfect for me because I already said I'm not willing to shell out more than $200 a month, you know, on a car, and that's including gas, that's including insurance, everything. So I came and I sat to him, and I had already read it online that they would speak to you or try to get you to sign up for gap insurance and end of lease agreement and all, and tire changing, like those types of things. Me being the cheap person that I am, I was like I had my guard up. I was like, no, you're not gonna try to sell me something that I did not come here for. Okay, you're not gonna do it. But the more he talked, the more it made sense. I was like, okay, you know what? At the end of the day, even with those extra added on stuff, it was still under the $200 limit, right? So I had gap insurance. Gap insurance is basically if God forbid you were to get into an accident, your insurance, my notes, that's what you're saying, your insurance would have a certain amount that they're willing to pay, right? And then there's the actual amount. So whatever's left over, that's on you to pay. Gap insurance is basically money being collected to put into this account where should you get into an accident, there's a little money already stored there, and that money would basically help you to help cover whatever extra cost that your insurance did not cover. Okay, and then they also did end of lease agreement. End of lease agreement is basically at the end of your lease, when you return your car, they're gonna inspect your car for damages. If your car has any scratches, any type of damages, they will, you know, start deducting and saying, you know, this is how much you make. This is how much you owe them. The money for the end of lease agreement, that account is being used so that at the end of the lease, should I owe anything for scratches, any damages to the car, if I'm returning the car, then that money will be taken out that account, and I think that's covered up to about $5,000. And then the last one was I basically, whatever happens to my tire, whenever I need a tire change, I can go to any Toyota in the US and Canada, and they will change it for free. I won't ever have to pay for those services. So, you know, I was like, okay, I guess he makes sense. So I signed up for all three things, and with that, my new monthly payment came up to $191.46. still under $200, and I was happy about that. It's still under $200 without gas, but my car is so small that my gas only costs about $20. And let's say I put in, like, I fill up my tank every week and a half. So monthly gas costs me about $50. About $50, $60, which, you know, it's not that bad. So then after the financial services guy, I then went in to speak to a guy who spoke to me about insurance. Since I already had a quote, it wasn't something where I had to sit for a long time and he's looking it up and all that stuff. I gave him the quote information. He got in contact with Geico. Geico got on the phone with me, told me some outrageous number that was not the number that they gave me online. And I was like, no, that's not working. So the guy got on the phone on my behalf and spoke to him about certain things, told him I didn't need certain things because they were being covered with this and that, whatever. All I know is when I got back on the phone, the price was way cheaper. As far as insurance, I did have the option of either paying monthly or paying every 6 months. I can't remember off the top of my head if there were other options, but I went with the options of paying every 6 months only because I like not having to worry about paying something monthly. And the reason that is you never know what could happen. One month something could go bad, and you know, what if you don't have it to pay for it? Then you're in default and you owe people money, and then your credit is gonna get affected. I'd rather just pay things in advance and then, you know, in 3 months worry about how I'm gonna pay for the next 6 months. So that was with the insurance guy. So we did the Geico thing. I paid for 6-month insurance, which was about $2,000, which is because, you know, I'm 23, I'm a new driver, and I'm not getting on anybody else's insurance, which now it's July. So I got the car. Everything happened May 29th. I walked in at 10 a.m. No car. Got a ride from somebody from my church. I walked out 3 p.m. in my car, and I was like, oh my gosh. And come to now in July, it's a whole month and almost like a month and a half, almost 2 months later. It's been amazing. It's been unreal. I never thought, this sounds so like but I never saw myself with a car. Like I said, it was never part of the plan. So it's been amazing. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's mine. Sometimes it's crazy to me that, like, I literally can pick up and go whenever without asking for somebody for a ride. I don't have to wait for people anymore. I get to be on my own time, and those things are really, really important to me. So it's been amazing. The car specifically that I got was the 2017 Toyota Corolla LE, and it's a lease. I especially like about this car is the fact that I do have lane assistance. So should I ever, you know, be falling asleep, dozing off, which, you know, doesn't happen, then it beeps. And so I realize I'm not in my lane, and it puts me back in my lane. It also has this feature where if you're driving really fast and you're getting too close to a car, it automatically starts slowing down. And if you never stop, the car will automatically stop to prevent you from hitting the person in front of you and getting into a car accident. Those things are really, really important when you're a new driver, because when you're a new driver, sometimes you can't estimate, you don't really comprehend how fast you're going. You think, oh, I'll have enough time to stop, and then before you know it, you don't have enough time to stop, and you're in a car accident. So I really, really like that about the car. And yeah, so far my overall experience has been amazing. Save, do what makes sense. Don't look at other people, what they're doing to decide what you should be doing for yourself. Make sure it makes sense to your lifestyle, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be having to pay for it monthly. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, peace out.